Hi everyone, in this video we will assemble this iPhone 7 and I will show you how to do this and what to do if you have damaged or ripped home button. I will leave all links for the details I have purchased from AliExpress in description in case if you want to do the same as I will do in this video. I have purchased this housing from AliExpress and as you can see this housing is almost assembled. It has all clips, the flex cables installed, the Taptic engine also and the speaker. So it will allow us to save a lot of time and not to waste time for assembling the housing from very zero. And this allows me to start from installing the camera module, and as you can see everything is already prepared for installation, so I'm just putting the camera module on its position. And now I'm installing the bracket which holds the camera module on its place, screwing it with appropriate screws. Now it's time to install the motherboard. Motherboard is placed on its position and now I'm using the appropriate screws to screw it down into place. Connecting all flex cables. For the lower flex cable for the NFC antenna and for the rear camera module. Now installing the Wi-Fi antenna. So the motherboard installation is complete. Now I need to connect all the wires and cables. Screwing down all missing screws. And placing all the cables on their position. Now it's time to install the battery. I will use the new battery for this restoration because I'm restoring the phone to the brand new condition. Using the adhesive stripes, I will stick the battery to the housing. The housing assemble is complete and now it's time to assemble the LCD panel. I have this one which was non-working. It was sent to me from AliExpress but it was non-working. So I have opened the disk tube and got the full refund for this LCD panel, but still it has some parts that we can use in this phone. I mean this speaker and the upper flex cable with the front face camera module. So I am unscrewing this speaker and I hope it works. Also I need to remove this flex cable and I need to do it extremely careful because if you damaged anything, you will need to purchase the new one. And now it's time to remove this rear plate, metal plate, which strengthens the LCD panel and makes it more durable. The metal plate has been removed from our non-working LCD panel, and now it's time to assemble our new LCD panel I have purchased from AliExpress as well, and I hope that this LCD panel will work as it should. I'm removing all protective films before assembling the LCD panel, and now I will install this metal plate, which I have removed from non-working LCD panel. Now I'm screwing this metal plate by the screws down on its place. Now I'm installing the upper flex cable with the front-facing camera module and with proximity sensors and ambient light sensors. Installing the speaker back to its place. Installing the bracket which holds everything on its position and screwing it down with the appropriate screws. Now it's time for installing the home button, but before I have installed the home button, I have checked it and I find out that it was ripped. As you can see by the arrow, this is the very small rip, but it was enough to make this home button non-functional. Usually, earlier, if you had this damaged home button, you lose the Touch ID functionality and home button functionality as well. And you need to install the Bluetooth home button, which was causing the high battery consumption. But now, as you can see, we have new types of home buttons, which are almost the same with the original one, and they can work without Bluetooth connection. Yes, you will not have the Touch ID functionality, but at least you will have the home button functionality and it will be working as an original button. So this allows us to save the motherboard and install it back to its place. It is very good that we have such home buttons. This will allow us to save a lot of motherboards and bring a lot of iPhone 7s back to the life. By the way, this home button also works with iPhone 8 models. Now I'm installing this home button on its place, installing the bracket which holds everything on its position, and this finalized the LCD panel assembly. Now it's time to check whether this home button works without Bluetooth connection as it should. But before I check, I need to install this dust and water protecting seal. Please do not ignore installation of this seal because it really helps to prevent dust and dirt to get into your phone. As soon as the dust protective seal is installed, now it's time to connect our newly assembled LCD panel and check the basic functionality of the phone. Now I want to check whether this home button works without Bluetooth connection. The LCD panel is connected to the motherboard. Now I'm connecting the battery and switching on the iPhone. You can see the Apple logo. Yes, you got the message that Touch ID functionality is not available, but as you can see, the home button works fine. Now it's time to, as you can see, Wi-Fi connection works fine, and now it's time to switch off the Bluetooth and check whether this home button still works. As you can see, the home button works fine, 3D touch works fine, and as I can see, all basic functionality of the phone is available to me. So as everything works fine, it is time for final assembly of the phone. Now I'm placing all metal brackets which are holding the connectors of the LCD panel on its place. screwing it down with the appropriate screws. Also, the metal bracket for the upper flex cable, which is responsible for the volume and switch button. This bracket is responsible for NFC antenna and rear module camera connections. Now cleaning everything with the microfiber cloth and closing the phone. Installing the pentalobe lower screws and screwing it down to its place. So the final stage is installing the tempered glass screen protector. And removing the protective film from the Apple logo on the rear back side of the housing. And now everything is completed, and now it's time to check all functions of the phone. As you can see, the rear camera is working, the front camera is working as well. Now it's time to check the speaker. As you can see, the speaker is working. The microphone is working. And now it's time to check whether the phone can make the phone calls. As you can see, it can make a phone calls as well. So as we can see, the phone is working fine as it should. Yes, it doesn't have Touch ID functionality, but at least it has home button working without Bluetooth connection. As I mentioned before, I will leave all the links for the details I have purchased from AliExpress in the description. If you wish, you can try yourself to assemble the phone like this. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time in our new video.